morning, it's Laura from Lawrence Branch Youth Services. Today's video is going to be about scarves in literature and pop culture. Here in Youth Services, we use scarves in our programming all the time. And besides that, we have books in the library that feature scarves, and you may have favorites that you have read in your childhood or nowadays where the characters wear a scarf. For sure, my beloved heroine Nancy Drew always had one on. So come with me and let's see what we can learn. Okay, so the library's open today and it's been very lively, and so you may hear patrons and staff helping patrons, and we're very happy for that. So I'm just going to read you a little bit of this history of scarves and from the Encyclopedia of Clothing and Fashion, and I'm just going to skim this article, and I'm showing you another YouTube article while I speak. Scarves have been an enduring fashion accessory for hundreds of years, ranging from humble bandanas to luxurious silks. Worn by women around the neck or as a head cover, scarves protect modesty or promote attention. Using basic shapes of cloth, typically triangular, square, or rectangular, scarves lend themselves to a wide variety of ornamentation. Scarves are commonly printed, but the techniques of weaving, batik, painting, and embroidery are also used to create scarf designs. While the scarf's popularity has fluctuated throughout its history, in certain decades of the 20th century, scarves were essential fashion items glamorized by dancers, movie stars, socialites, fashion illustrators, and photographers. Okay, so now we're out in the picture book section, and here I have Ms. Jen here to help me, and let's see what she's going to show us.
So I have four main types of scarves that I like to wear. I have an infinity scarf, I have a long thin rectangle, I have a square, and I have a really fat long rectangle. I love my infinity scarves because they're so easy. I just put them over, loop around, and there you have it. So for my long rectangles that are thin, you can either make them an infinity scarf by just tying the ends in a knot. Hide that knot. Short one. Or a classic, easy one that I do a lot, fold in half and just tuck the ends through the loop. Voila! This is one of my favorite scarves. It's very lightweight, not too big, and I like to wear it as a shawl. So I fold it into a triangle, take the two long ends, just wrap it around, and tie it. If you've seen any of my baby time videos, this is my favorite scarf to use at home to wave around. It's just so nice and light. So this is my big scarf. Taller than me. It's too much to wear just like this unless you do the elegant and fancy wrap like this, which I have done. But usually I just fold it in quarters, long ways, And then do the classic in half, flip around. It's a little more bulky, but nice and warm for the winter.
The scarf as a modern fashion accessory was defined in the early decades of the 20th century. Flowing lengths of silk worn draped about the body had been made fashionable in part by dancers such as Isadora Duncan. That Duncan's death was caused by a long scarf around her neck becoming caught in the wheels of a Bugatti is one of the scarf's morbid associations. Throughout the 1920s and 1930s, the scarf was incorporated into the sleek, elongated fashion of these decades. As seen in numerous fashion illustrations and photographs of this period, the scarf served as both a sensuous wrap and a geometric design element. In the course of the 20th century, the scarf's visibility as a blank canvas on which to present elaborate designs, advertising, humorous motifs, and artists' creations was used to advantage. The idea of printing scarves and handkerchiefs to commemorate heroes, political events, inventions, and other occasions began in the late 18th century and was popular throughout the 19th century. This use continued into the 20th century with scarves commemorating world's fairs, political campaigns, cities, tourist attractions, and numerous other themes. Fashion designers employed the signed scarf as a means to accessorize their clothing and commemorate their names. As licensing became an established part of the fashion industry, designers' names on scarves became a lucrative sideline.
Hi, I'm Miss Pam. I'm here today to show you some of the scarves I like. This one is one of my favorite because it's hot pink and I think it looks great when you're wearing it against something dark. And I just tied it almost like you would tie a men's tie. I just wrapped it around a couple times and then just slid it through. So, or you can just, because it's nice and long. Print ones because I love animal print, and what I like to do with these is, because they're much longer, is I like to fold them in half over my arm like that, wrap it around my neck, and then you pull it through and it brings it up close to your neck. This one is also nice because it's nice and warm for the winter. It's made out of alpaca fur, and I actually picked it up at an alpaca farm I visited in South Jersey, in Cape May. So I do the same thing. I fold it in half, put it around my neck, and it's great in the winter when it's so cold out because it's nice and warm. This is an infinity scarf because it has no end to it. And this one I like because this is my St. Patrick's Day scarf. So all you do is you put it around your neck and then you flip it, put it around again. You have two loops and you can make it any way you want. You can make one shorter and one longer, or you can make them both the same. And it's great for the holidays because this is, and now I'm ready for St. Patrick's Day. This is one of my favorite scarves. My grandmother brought this back for me from Italy. And you wear this one a little differently. You just put it on your body like this, and then you tie it in the back so it doesn't come off. And then you can arrange it like that. Just a little different scarf.
So I'm going to tie, these are, I'm not sure if they're silk, but these are my nicer scarves, and both Jen and Pamela showed you how to do, that they do like to wear that, almost like a tie knot, I call it. And so, you know, we tend to pick the knots that we do over and over that we can do quickly without even thinking about it. And this is one of those for me. So I put it around my neck, I cross over, it goes around the front, through the back, up, you see I'm not even watching, and then you open up your little knot here and you pull it through. And so that can be adjusted up. You can do it with a much larger scarf, and voila. All right, so for this one, it's a little bit of an alternate way of doing that French loop that both Pamela and Jen showed you. So here it is, just as a basic. And then what you do is pull one side out, like that, and you weave it through the other loop that was there. So you see how I did that? I'll do it again for you. You've got your loop, you go through, you pull either loop back out, and then you're weaving it through the side that the other one didn't go through. One goes up, one goes down. And this one works nicely if you've got a really long scarf, and I also use it a lot when I've got one of those big, nice, bulky knitted scarves that you would wear outside for cold. And there you have it. Okay, and one more tip that I want to show you is, you know, sometimes you just kind of want to have the scarf hanging, and maybe you want to tie it down the bottom so it hangs like this. And if you've ever tried to do that, you end up with you know, like a big bulky knot that you don't want. So the way to get around that is, and you can tell that this scarf is pretty bulky, you're going to tie just a small regular knot like that. So you've got a ball, and then if you leave yourself a little room, go ahead and open it with your finger, and then put your other half through here. And then you can have that hanging down there without it being this big thing sticking away from your belly.